Speaking of good songs and good music, if you were stuck on a desert island.
The tough questions coming here from Andromeda.
You got 3 albums. What are you bringing?
Okay, well, Frank Sinatra, Live at the Sands. That's probably, because I'll be on a beach.
Album.
It's an island.
Yeah.
I'll be on the sand.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense. Frank Sinatra, that's that is my spirit animal right there, his vibe.
For sure.
So even though I'll be alone on an island, I'd be like, how'd you get in my island? How'd you get in my room? Like, by myself, talking to Wilson the volleyball, Yeah. Frank Sinatra would join me on this island. I think I would choose one of, I'm going to give you a, convoluted answer. One of Louis Armstrong, Oscar Peterson, Dizzy Gillespie. I would pick one album from them just because I feel like when I listen to those artists, the joy comes across in their music. Whatever tough time I was having on this shipwrecked island.
We'll let you take 4 albums.
Okay, so I'm going to do an Oscar Peterson trio. I'm going to do Louis and Ella.
Yes.
And I'm going to do Dizzy Gillespie and Roy Eldridge, Roy and Diz.
Yes.
Because no matter what mood I'm in on my deserted island, they're going to pep me up.
Yeah, they got you. Those are great.
Add Frank
choices.
Sinatra into there.
And you're good to go.
I'm good.
You could stay there forever.
Maybe with Wi-Fi.
Maybe with Wi-Fi and like some pina coladas.
Exactly. Then I'm good.
Then you're good. You've gotten to perform with some really incredible artists. Who are some that are out there that you haven't had the chance to work with that you'd really love to?
Oh my gosh. I would love, as a trumpet player growing up, I mentioned my father was a saxophonist. And some of my favorite jazz quintets are the instrumentation of saxophone and trumpet, whether it's John Coltrane with Miles Davis, or even Wayne Shorter later with Miles, Cannonball Adderley and his brother Nat, so on and so forth. So many classic jazz groups feature trumpet and saxophone. So growing up in the 90s, Joshua Redman was a big, jazz luminary. I love his work. I would love to work with him. There are so many saxophonists that are on my bucket list that I would just roll over if I got to work with. He's certainly one of them. Wayne Shorter is still with us, still performing now, and he's an absolute living legend. It's incredible even to hear him and the music he's doing now. And beyond the saxophone, I love Monty Alexander. I've seen him perform a number of times. He was one of my grandma's favorites. Aww. Monty, if you're out there listening, I'd love to make that happen. And also as a horn player, I got to work briefly for a radio show on a project with Kurt Elling. And Kurt Elling is one of my favorite singers today. And the way that he sings and improvises is very instrumental. It's like a horn player when he's improvising. And so that's, the way that he has worked with Branford Marsalis's band, for example. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that.
That would be super cool, yeah. Have there been any musicians that you've been really nervous to work with or to play for? Like they were in the audience and you're like, oh my God.
There was one time I was doing a Lifetime Achievement Award, some kind of ceremony at Cipriani's or something, and it was honoring Tony Bennett. And we had to do, I Left My Heart in San Francisco with a choir from the Frank Sinatra School, in Queens. Yeah. And so people were saying maybe Tony Bennett's going to be there, maybe he's not. His wife might accept the award. And I was concerned with hurdling the choir of fourth graders out on stage. And of course we got out on stage and the band starts on singing, I left my heart in San Francisco. And right in front of the stage, the table right in front of me is Tony Bennett staring up at me while I was singing the song. So by the grace of God, I didn't forget the words and I got through the song. And I was so incredibly nervous. And afterwards, I got to have a moment with him backstage, and he was very, in the moment and said something along the lines of, you got the gift, kid, keep going, or whatever. You sound great.
Sweet.
So they say don't ever meet your heroes, but in that case, Tony Bennett was absolute sweetheart, and thank God I didn't mess up his song. So it worked out.